I am your host. Write down our toll-free telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Here we are together again on the radio. Wow. Look at this story. I just don't believe the details of it. In fact, I've read this story about 6 times, and I still cannot believe the details of it. Listen to this. This is from the London Daily Telegraph, and it involves some people in Blackpool, England. The bride-to-be, who lost her legs in a horrific accident on the way to church, still wants to go ahead with the wedding, according to the minister conducting the ceremony. Now, how much bad luck could you possibly have in life? This is what I'm amazed at, okay? Like she didn't have enough problems already. This woman's name is Dawn Auty, A-U-T-Y. And she has terminal cancer. You're laughing. Stop it. Anyway, Dawn Auty, who has terminal cancer, was being driven to church on a motorized tricycle. How about a limo? What are you doing? All right, so there she is. She's got terminal cancer. And you know what? For you morons out there, and I know we have many of you who call in, okay, terminal cancer means you're going to die. You can't cure it, okay? That doesn't mean you caught cancer in a train station. I mean, that means this is it. All right, but she wanted to get married anyway, so she's on the way to the church for some reason in a motorized tricycle. Again, I'm taking a taxi. You get terminal cancer, and you're wearing a bridal gown, and you get in a motorized tricycle. All right, so here's what happened. Her bridal gown became caught in the drive shaft. Her legs were dragged into the machinery. Doctors were forced to amputate them at the scene to save her life. Reverend Barbara Duchars, who visited the couple at Blackpool Victoria Hospital, told the Daily Telegraph the couple still wanted the ceremony to take place. Well, she still has arms. That's right, Gary. They're going to have to find a little pedestal to put her up on, though. Now, here's a case where you should put a woman up on a pedestal. Yes, very serious and tragic story here. Excuse me. Here's the Reverend Barbara Duchars quoted as saying, Dawn is still totally committed, despite everything that has happened. Yeah. By the way, she, as if this isn't enough tragedy in one's life, she has an adopted father, so she's, a stepchild? Adopted child? I don't know what the deal is here. They have it in quotes here. Miss Auty's adopted father, Eddie Furnett, maybe he's not a father at all, maybe he's just a neighbor who helps out. I don't know. So the former nurse and mother of 2 is known for putting on a brave face. Of course, she doesn't have a leg to stand on. That's a whole other story. He said, quote, she was adamant that she was going to ride to church on her friend's trike, and there was no stopping her. Mr. Furness said his daughter's life had been marred. Oh, he is the adopted father, I guess. Okay. Mr. Furness said his daughter's life had been marred by tragedy in recent years. Oh, you mean this isn't enough tragedy? She lost her natural father 2 months ago, and her mother about 2 years ago. She used to work, but she had to give up because of the cancer, which they say is terminal. Ms. Auty's fiance, who's No first name here. Typical British newspapers. Her fiancé is a Mr. Flood. I don't know what Mr. Flood's first name is. Maybe it's Mr. I don't know. Mr. Flood said in a statement released to the hospital that no one was to blame for the accident. You're wrong. I know it's politically incorrect to say it, but the victim is to blame for the accident. You should not be riding a motorized tricycle with a bridal gown on through traffic, okay? That's wrong. Nobody wants to say the victim is to blame, but the victim is to blame. Truth has to be told. He says, we are all absolutely devastated by what has happened, and we would like to be left alone during this difficult time to concentrate on helping Dawn get through this. What's the point? You got terminal cancer and you've got no legs. I mean, they invented euthanasia for a reason. I still want to go through this. It's unbelievable. Maybe they could hold the wedding at a construction site and they could go get married without hard hats. They go to a girder on the 40th floor on a windy day. You got to be kidding me. All right. I don't even know what element of this story to take, but all right, let's concentrate on the legs being cut off. All right, the terminal cancer and the parents dying, and by the way, who is this guy who wants to marry a chick with terminal cancer and no legs? What is that? I know the people out there who are in love with people with terminal cancer and no legs are probably throwing their radios across the room right now. How many of you are there? I don't know. But, all right, let's just say you were with somebody. All right, it's your wedding day. By the way, you're completely anonymous, so I want you to be really honest with me here. You don't have to give me the politically correct answer. You can give me the real answer. All right? The real answer. The one that you wouldn't want your friends and family hearing, or your girlfriend, your boyfriend. Okay? So it's your wedding day. You're getting married, and for whatever reason, on the way to the church, you tried to outrun the train, and your car couldn't make it across the tracks, or, you jammed on the brakes, and you flew through the windshield, and you were carved up in every possible way. All right, somehow they had to amputate, okay? And there, the legs, bam, get chopped off, and now you're nothing but a talking head, all right? With a couple of arms. So, first of all, it's ruined your wedding day, okay? You had the guests who were waiting at the church. Imagine you're waiting at the church for this wedding to take place. Suddenly, they get up there. I have to make an announcement. Our bride will not be with us today because she just had her legs cut off. You can all go home now. How do you do that? Okay. All right, so it's your wedding day, and you're waiting for the other person to get to the church, or they're late for some reason, and you're getting pissed at them, too. Hey, it's our wedding day. The hell are you doing? We got people waiting. We got a judge, a minister, or whatever. People are waiting around. And suddenly you find out the person you've been waiting for was in a horrible accident and their legs are cut off. Now, here's my question. Think hard. Answer honestly. Would you want to press ahead with this wedding?
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-866.
What is your take on internet dating?
Also, the women are fat and don't like to send you pictures.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show, 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. All right, would you go ahead with a wedding where the other person, and it could be a guy too, on the way to the wedding, that person was late, you're getting pissed at them, then you find out they had this horrible accident and their legs had to be amputated. Tell me the truth. Eric on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how you doing?
All right, Eric.
All right, Tom. You press on. If she loses body parts, arms, legs, that's good.
That's good?
That's okay. But if she she gets like horribly disfigured, ugly, or if you got like amputate the breasts or vagina, no way, man, she's gone.
So all you need to have is breasts and a vagina.
And a heartbeat too, but
a heartbeat. What about a head?
Well, that goes without saying, Tom. But
well, you're saying it goes without saying, but you know what? Well, I guess you need a head to survive. You couldn't survive without a head.
Right on.
But that's the only reason. If you could survive without a head, would that be okay?
Yeah, less talking.
Yeah.
Less nagging you have to listen to.
It's certainly true. Just breasts and a vagina, and then she'll never give you a hard time about going out at night or anything.
Heartbeat, vagina, and breasts. I'm good.
All right, very good. So you would go ahead and get married to that?
Yes, I would, Tom.
All right, just checking. All right, well, thank you so much for that.
All right, Tom, blow me up.
Here you go. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's your telephone number. Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, what's up, man?
Not much, Ryan.
This has got to be, it may sound sad, but I think this is really funny.
You think it's a funny story?
It's...
By God, it's a tragedy. I can't believe you're laughing like that.
I can't. Me neither. It just, I don't know, it just hit my funny bone. You know what? I can't even really talk right now. I'm speechless.
Would you? Yeah, I'd like to get a look at the honeymoon there.
I just can't.
There's a spinner, baby.
This is the funniest thing I think I've ever heard. It's sad to say, but I don't know why I'm laughing. I think it's kind of a bad thing, but I don't know.
You're laughing because we're all afraid that it would happen to us someday. We laugh. It's a defense mechanism. Of course you're laughing.
At least you don't have to worry about the legs. You just mount her up and just go for it. I don't know. Bye, Tom.
All I know is she'll never walk out on him. You know what I'm saying?
Later, Tom.
Bye. 1-800-5800-TOM. Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Dave?
Yeah, Tom.
You busy over there?
No. I got under a bridge in my, I don't know, cell phone.
No.
Anyway, thanks for calling.
Oh, really? Did I call you? Brett, thanks for calling him on the phone, putting him on. I appreciate that.
All right.
I owed you a call for a while.
What's that?
Never mind. Go ahead.
I'd have to say I'd tell her, I think we should probably start seeing other people.
Yeah, you tell. You're too good for me.
At least you.
That's what I tell her. You're too good for me.
Yeah, can you take me out with a bong hit and a toilet flush?
Here you go, Dave. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. The telephone number. Frank on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, you just tell her you got cold feet. She won't know what that's like. And then hand her walking papers. You know what?
Hand her walking papers.
I can't help it, but you know what? I think it's funny. And that's only because nothing like that's happened to me or my wife. But you know what? I would lose her. I would take her for a drag, one last drag, and then that'd be done. Hey, one last question, Tom. I had a question. You did that. Do that voice, the first-time caller.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Right. I never hear you do that anymore, and that was such.
Well, actually, my voice has been trashed lately. I had a bad cold, so I'm just recovering now.
Great. Well, you start.
That's the first time I've done it in a couple of weeks.
Hey, will you blow my ass up, Tom?
I'll blow your ass up. Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Randy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, hello, Tom.
Hello, Randy.
Hey, Tom, I wouldn't do it. I just couldn't take on all those medical bills and everything. It'd just be way too much.
Yeah, what about the whole psychological thing? I imagine she'd be a little cranky.
And then having to clean up snail marks around the house all the time. Oh, it's a terrible thing.
I can see you've all been touched by this tragedy I read to you about today. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Rob on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
All right, Rob.
I'm a new caller. I'm a new listener, but one of the first times I tried to call in. And I think I would stay with her. I would go through with it. And I was thinking about it for a while. I figured that the legs are one thing. I've known some people without legs, and some people are just fantastic when they deal with it. But
they are. But they may be fantastic and an inspiration to us all.
Yeah.
But would you want to get into bed with somebody without legs?
I really don't know. That might put a burden on it, but I was thinking more along the cancer lines, too. If that was someone's final wish and I was in love with her, just to give someone the opportunity to get married if they're about to die, and if you really did love them, I think I would.
You'd want her to put her best foot forward? Is that what you're saying?
Not the best foot forward, but just try to be there for the person I love.
Yes. I understand that, but then you'd have to go on like a honeymoon and stuff. I mean...
Yeah. Well, I had a friend who had cancer, and they...
Call me kooky, okay? Maybe I'm just a germ-phobic or a disease-phobic. No legs is one thing, but to go on a honeymoon with somebody with no legs and terminal cancer...
Yeah.
Carry them across the threshold, well, I guess there's no other way to get them into the room.
Well, if they did one of those Make-A-Wish things, I'm sure you could do something crazy, like travel around the world for 4 weeks, or, go everywhere crazy you ever wanted to.
I just wouldn't want to have to stop down and get into the old sackaroni, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we'd have to see, I mean.
Give me one more for the roll. Oh, my God, no. No, I couldn't do it.
All right.
I don't love anybody that much, I tell you right now.
Well, I've noticed that from listening to you, but
no.
We've got to make our way there.
I don't love anybody that much.
Well, Tom, best luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Easy our telephone number. It's Daryl on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
All right, Daryl.
Hey, Tom. I think this might be a good thing if you think about it. You could go ahead and teach her how to walk on her hands. You see what I'm saying? And then you throw a T-shirt on her, maybe sit her up against the bar as like bar stool and invite your friends over. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a surprise. It's kind of a good thing. What do you think, Tom?
Well, as I've said, you'd certainly have a spinner.
Exactly.
No doubt about it.
All right, my friend. That's all I wanted to tell you. Blow me up.
Here you go. Get up there, straddle me. Oh, sorry. 1-800-5800-TOM. Is our telephone number. We're talking about the woman who lost both her legs in an accident on the way to her wedding. Would you want to press ahead with the wedding if the person you were marrying had this terrible tragedy happen to them?
The Tom Leykis Show. The Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. We're at 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Kevin on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Kevin? All right. We'll look for Kevin. We'll say hi to Ron on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Doing okay, Ron.
That's great. Hey, I tell you what, I would not marry her, and I would get out as fast as I could. I used to go out with a girl that was paralyzed, man, and I tell you what, high maintenance, you could not believe. I mean, you had to change the bedpans, you had to change the sheets all the time, you had to lift her in and out of wheelchairs, and I tell you what, it was just not worth it.
Now, how sexy is that to have sex with someone whose bedpan you just changed?
Well, it's pretty gross most of the time, but to tell you the truth, we did have some pretty awesome sex, but she was one of those crazy bitches, if you know what I mean. So, but, like I say, it was not worth it, man. I stayed with her for about 2 years, and then that's about all I could take. Every time you want to go somewhere, you got to worry about the wheelchair, and, if you want to go dancing, it's just...
How do you go dancing in a wheelchair?
Well, it's kind of tough, she runs over people, and, it's just no fun. I mean,
So you're dancing and she's wheeling around?
Yeah, she wheels around on the dance floor and stuff, and then I tell you what, you want to go on a trip over the weekend or something like that, and it's like, you want to go around in restaurants and you can't get in because of, It's just not worth it, man. It's too much of a hassle. Just way too much. I would never marry somebody that didn't have legs or that is ever in a wheelchair. It just you'd have to be an awful patient person to want to marry somebody like that.
How about date them?
I was pretty patient for a couple of years, but
how did you? By the way, was she paralyzed when you met her?
Yeah, she was actually.
How did you fall in love with somebody who was paralyzed?
I'm not sure I really fell in love with her.
How did you fall in lust with someone who was paralyzed?
Real pretty face, and I could say after the sex the first time, it was so good, I just kept tapping it.
And how did, if I may ask, how did you have sex with someone who's paralyzed?
Well, actually, she'd be able to lift her legs all the way up around her head, so it was pretty fun.
I see. Well, of course, it was always missionary position.
Yeah, definitely. Never anything else. That was about right.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah. Hey, Tom, can you take me out Kingdom style?
No one's asked for that one in a while. Of course I'll take you out Kingdom style. Here you go.
Fire.
1-800-5800-TOM. Let's try Kevin again on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, I've been listening here, and I can't even believe this is a discussion. Do you realize that if you go to an amusement park with a crippled person, you don't have to wait in the line?
Oh, so there are benefits, you're saying?
Yeah, and then when you get home, at the end of the day, you're tired from walking around, you snap open a cold one, you just turn her upside down, and she'll hold your beer for you.
And don't forget those whopping SSI checks that are coming in.
That's right. All right, blow me up, buddy.
Here you go. Yeah, I married a woman for the SSI. 1-800-5800-TOM. Richard on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Richard.
Hey, you got to marry this chick. I mean, her mom just died. Her dad just died. Look at it from a financial point of view. Where's the inheritance? She's dying. She's terminal. You got the money, man.
Well, maybe there isn't any money. I mean, they're in Blackpool, England. That's not the wealthiest place on earth.
There's got to be an inheritance coming in somewhere. If there's not, then no, you turn and run. But if there's that inheritance money, she's going...
All right, so you do it for the inheritance, you say?
Damn straight.
Okay, got it.
Hey, can you take me out Samantha Cohen style?
Samantha Cohen style? Who's that?
How about Kobe Bryant style?
All right, Kobe Bryant style. I'll take you out Kobe Bryant style. Here you go.
This is about us. She's so special to me. You're a beat to my heart. You're the air I breathe. She's so special to me.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Ryan on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, how you doing?
All right, Ryan.
Good. Hey, I was just going to say, you got to consider yourself a lucky SOB that it happened right before and not right after.
Yeah, now you can escape.
Exactly.
Now you're not stuck with all those bills and all that heartache.
I know. Hell, and the novelty of plugging a torso will wear off after a couple of weeks. Hey, but can you take me out JFK Senior style?
Of course. Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Jeremy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
What's going on?
Let's do a radio show here, Jeremy.
Right on. Listen, long time, first time.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say, I would, but I think that definitely you should postpone the wedding.
Postpone the wedding?
Absolutely.
Until when?
Until she is absorbed all of what's happened to her. I mean, just to be serious for a moment, everyone's kind of joking around about it, but I mean, if you're honestly asking, would you do it, you got to consider the fact that...
well, clearly, if your legs were amputated, you wouldn't be able to come back to the church that day anyway.
Absolutely.
But how long would you wait? I mean... It's just a matter of waiting until the right time, you're saying?
Absolutely. I mean, as long as your relationship stayed exactly the same. You know what I mean? I mean, if she is... she could change completely.
What would make you think your relationship's going to stay the same? You're now with somebody who had legs yesterday.
Right.
They don't have legs today.
Well, I mean, as long as they were positive about it. I mean, they go on and they go on with life, and, your relationships stay the same. You're both on the same track. Maybe you want to have kids.
But it's not the same, because if you're going to have kids, who do you think is going to have to get up and do those middle-of-the-night feedings? Who do you think is going to have to do all the running around?
Well, for me personally, if I were seriously considering marrying someone, all of that would be something that I was willing to sacrifice. If I'm not willing to be married, I wouldn't want to do all those things for someone because I'd be too selfish and I'd want to be by myself.
Right, but if you weren't married yet, you would not have to sacrifice. You would not be obligated. It'd be one thing if you were married 5 years and this happened.
Well, that's true.
But if you weren't married yet, you could still escape this horrible responsibility.
That's exactly what my point is. I mean, you still have the choice to say, you know what, this isn't going to work. You can think about things. She needs to think about a lot of stuff too. What if she doesn't want to get married anymore? I mean, there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration.
Well, she didn't want to get married anymore. It's a moot point.
That's true. Hey, blow me up, Tom.
Here you go, Jeremy.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-866.
As soon as she got pregnant, she decided she didn't want to give no more Hummers.
Well, if I do that for you, you have to buy me a minivan.
You know what? I bought her a minivan.
Did you get a BJ for that?
Yeah, matter of fact, I did.
There you go, you see?
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
All right, Chris.
All right. Hey, the thing about it is you get some real good parking spots out of them girls like that.
A good parking spot. They'd have like a handicap placard in their car.
Hey, you might as well have something short of a valet. Besides that, they're at the right Hummer height.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so you would marry her for her handicapped placard.
Hey, why not? Let's get something out of the deal.
All right, well, Chris, thank you for that. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Son, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Good.
I was married to a woman, and 5 years into the marriage, she lost her leg due to diabetes.
Uh-huh.
And we had a happy marriage for another 10.5 years after that. She passed away last year. But I'll tell you that, the woman worshiped me for staying with her. And all my friends would ask me why. How can you do it? How do you do it? And when you love somebody, it doesn't matter. You just make the best of what you got,
Is it that it doesn't matter? Or is it that you're now a hostage? I mean, you would look terrible, and all your friends and family would say, oh, my God, I can't believe you would just abandon her like that. I mean, I think people stay out of public embarrassment.
Yeah. Well, when my wife passed away, I had women just falling all over me because I was such a sweet guy.
Uh-huh. Now that she's passed on, tell us the truth. Did you taste anything while you were married?
There was a couple indiscretions.
Of course there were.
15 years, sure.
Yeah, of course, especially after you found out that she was going to lose a leg.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely. But the sex life actually improved.
Oh, I'll bet it did. But the point is, you weren't the saint that all these women thought you were. Even though you stayed, you had needs, and you went out and satisfied.
Well, she spent 3 months in the hospital, and it was during that time that I seeked a little elsewhere.
Hey, I'm not criticizing you, pal. I've been in your position. I've done that kind of thing. So I'm just pointing it out. But
the women, I mean,
the women all thought you were some kind of saint. I know I've not been in the position where someone lost a leg, Dean. I've been in the position where I committed indiscretions.
Yeah.
Screwed around.
But,
I did.
Boy, she was the best woman. She lost her leg, but if anything, it made our relationship stronger.
Really?
Yeah.
Even though you were banging other chicks?
Well, no. I mean, I had two one time, one night things with friends that were understanding of the situation, and they knew they knew I loved my wife, and I wasn't leaving my wife, and it was more of a situational thing.
Mm-hmm.
I did it, so I didn't feel comfortable doing it in the hospital with my wife. So.
Right. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
That IV gets in the way.
Yeah, she got a prosthetic limb after a couple years. And, she lived a normal life, and most people didn't even know she lost her leg.
Now, did she have sex with the leg on or the leg off?
I mean, she liked it standing up, but when she took that prosthetic off, boy, you could do positions that you can't do when there's another leg in the way, you know?
Try different positions, yeah. Hit it at different angles.
Oh, yeah. But she was a great woman, and then she could have lost the other leg. I stayed with her. There's just no doubt about that.
Wow.
She made me a much better person. You know, I think I learned to tolerate a lot of people that I don't think
I think we need to learn the exact opposite. I think we need to learn to be more intolerant of people. I think we're too tolerant.
Yeah, well, some people out there aren't tolerant. You know, many times when she was in her wheelchair, people would just wheel her out of the way like she was an object. And a lot of insensitivity in this world.
Yeah, well, there sure is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Dave.
Sure thing, Tom.
Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Brent on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey there, Tom. Long time, second time.
Thank you, Brent.
You're welcome. Pleasure's all mine. Well, this topic kind of sparked a memory from my past, made me laugh. I remember years ago picking up this girl from the bar. I was a little bit loaded. She had a bit of a limp, didn't really think anything of it. Go home with her. She takes off her pants, takes off her leg. And I was kind of just like, huh, what?
She took off her leg.
Yeah, and she's just looking at me. She's just like, what? I was just like,
what? What? So, you think there's something weird about that?
Well, yeah, and so she kicked me out.
How'd she kick you out? She only had one leg.
She just told me to leave, and I didn't know what to say.
She kicked you out, her ass would hit the floor, wouldn't it?
Well, so I would have to side with the no side, I would think.
No, you wouldn't marry somebody like that.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
For people, it's more expensive. You're paying like 35 cents for the first minute, and then
Who the hell are you talking to?
I'm talking to Tom Leykis.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Liz on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you, Father?
I'm doing okay. My dear daughter, how can I help you?
Well, basically, as far as the sex goes, I think that would be fine. That's no problem as long as everything works. But as far as the marriage, it's hard enough these days to get men to pull their weight like when they're totally healthy, let alone with the excuse that, oh, wait, gosh, sorry, can't help you, babe, no legs.
Pull their weight? What do you mean pull their weight?
Basically do anything.
Well, you know what we do? We pay most of the bills in most cases.
Well...
In most cases, we pay at least 51% of the bill.
Are we talking about your sons?
I'm talking about men in general. I mean, men make more money than women.
Well, sometimes, but things are changing.
But they haven't changed that much. Women still make 72 cents for every dollar a man makes. And that means men end up paying the majority of the bills. Also, most women hook up with guys who make more money than they do. We pay more than half the bill.
But in the case of the man without the legs.
The man without the legs.
Yes.
Yeah, but I know. But you're saying that men don't carry their weight. You know what? Maybe we don't do as much housework as you do.
Yes, this is true.
But we do pay for... the garbage cans that you're asking us to take out, the vacuum cleaner you're asking us to pick up and use, the electric bill for the lights you ask us to turn off, we pay for just about everything.
Well, sometimes, but that's not everything.
No, most of us.
In any case.
Now, occasionally there are chicks like you who hook up with loser musicians or loser wannabe actors or loser wannabe comedians, and then you end up buying the groceries, okay? But for the most part, men pay most of the bill.
Okay, but in the case of the man without the legs, no dice.
You don't want to be with a man with no legs.
No, well, sexually, sure, that's fine, but as far as long-term, I don't think so.
Yeah, because he couldn't take out the garbage.
Well, or much of anything else.
Matthew, what do you want to say to Liz here?
Liz, men who don't pull their own weight, you loser. You don't listen to Tom Leykis. What the hell are you talking about? Men pull more than their share of the weight in most relationships. Just listen to Tom. What are you calling him for if you're not listening?
What are you talking about? I listen all the time.
If you listen all the time, what are you doing? Calling up saying, marry a man without a leg. They can't pull their weight as it is. You loser. You don't listen to Tom. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Men do so much more than women in most relationships. They don't sit on their ass eating bonbons, waiting for their man to come home with the paycheck and say, honey, gee, where's my dinner? Most men come home, make their own dinner, unless they've got a woman that was approved by Tom in the first place. You're talking about men who can't pull their own weight, losing a leg. Most men I know would probably double their weight if they lost their leg because they know they've got a hell of a lot more to do. Backwards, Liz, backwards.
All right, guys. You got me. You got me good.
That's it. That's all you can say.
Okay. Well,
hey, Dick. Hey, Tom, 86, sir. Get her out of here.
All right, then. All right, our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Call our comment line. The number is area code 310-842-9592. That's 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Write us, The Tom Leykis Show. Post Office Box 4455, Hollywood, California, 90078. Email us. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. We'll call our comment line. The number is 310-842-9592. From Los Angeles, it's the Tom Leykis Show.